One day, the Earth was divided into two equal parts as a last resort to save the planet. One half was where people lived, and the other was for nature. It seemed wildlife and plants were saved, but how did it change our civilization? As the legend goes, after first dividing the globe, humanity realized the environment was still in danger. Everything they did in their part of the world influenced the other. And since they kept burning fuel, polluting the atmosphere, and throwing plastic into the ocean, wind and water currents spread this poison all over the planet. So they built a huge wall to finish the job. The wall started deep underground and soared high in the sky. Hundreds of years have passed since the wall was completed. Now nobody remembers when exactly the builders, as they're referred to, put it up. The only thing we know, crossing the Great Separator is strictly prohibited. And since the wall isn't transparent, no one has any idea what's happening on the other side. A lack of free space on the human half forced us to invent flying cars and build cities vertically, high into the air and deep below the ground. Natural foods have almost disappeared because there's no territory or conditions for agriculture. Scientists have created artificial food, not that tasty or healthy, but very cheap. Real meat, wheat, vegetables, and fruit have become luxuries in this new world. Almost all natural resources have run out because of the overpopulation. People are still trying their best to save what little nature we have on our side. There are waste recycling plants in every city, but they don't help much. Society has also divided itself into social classes, with the rich living in the air cities and the middle class and poor living on and below the ground. But there's one thing all these citizens have in common. They want to get to the other, forbidden part. Nobody knows how the planet has transformed on the other side, because no one has ever been able to get there. No one except you. You were born in a world where half of it is a total mystery. Every day, mesmerized, you watch old documentaries and read about wildlife. You live near the wall and work at a water purifying plant. One day, during lunch break, you go outside to stretch your legs. That's when you notice a little green lizard. It's the first time in your life you've ever seen such a creature. It can't live on your side of the planet because of the environmental problems. Yet it can't be from the nature side because of the huge wall in the way. Unless an idea pops up in your mind. The lizard must have snuck in here from the other side. But it's impossible. The wall goes deep underground. You watch the thing rush toward the wall and scurry into a little hole in the ground. It looks as if there's a passage somewhere in the wall, a passage leading to the other world. You start digging a tunnel in that place, hoping to find a hole in the wall. You do it at night and keep the whole thing a secret. If you get caught, the consequences will be dramatic. You finally find the passage. You keep digging, and soon enough, you're in. Before you can see anything, you hear the sound of birds chirping. You get out of the tunnel and find yourself in the middle of a green glade. Colorful flowers grow all over the place, and the air smells so fresh. You see bees and butterflies flying around. Off in the distance, there's an outline of an old city. The concrete jungle has long turned into the real one, with skyscrapers covered in moss and vines, roads lost in thick grass, and trees growing everywhere. It looks as if any human traces will disappear completely in a few decades. Naturally, you decide to go check it out. On your way, you notice that many animal species endangered in the old world have survived. Rhinos, elephants, and deer are no longer threatened by poachers. Marine inhabitants don't swallow plastic or get stuck in fishing nets. The planet's other side looks like paradise. But even in such a breathtaking place, you may be in danger. You hear leaves rustling behind you, and then a grizzly bear. Those old nature videos immediately flood your mind. If you've crossed paths with a brown bear, lie down on the ground and don't move. You do just what the host said, and it saves your life. The bear loses interest and moves on. Then you stumble across an apple tree with ripe fruit on it. You've never tasted anything so delicious. These apples would cost hundreds for just one on the other side of the wall. You put a couple in your pockets. It's getting dark, and you see a stunning sky peppered with stars. In your city, light pollution doesn't let you enjoy such views. Now, you're in awe. But your starry gaze is interrupted by the sight of smoke. Something's burning. You run in that direction and are almost knocked to your feet by what you see – lights. All of a sudden, your phone starts buzzing and vibrating. It's connected to an unknown Wi-Fi network. What the? You come closer and hear voices and the sounds of music. You hide behind a bush and watch several people having fun around a campfire. The music is coming from a speaker. It's almost as if a native tribe has just left the jungle and started to discover the benefits of civilization. You later learn that some isolated groups, living far from big cities, didn't leave their homes when the planet was divided in half. They didn't feel the need, since they never caused any harm to the environment. And now, these small tribes live in empty cities. But how have they managed to restore electricity and keep the internet? They'd need massive numbers, an entire workforce to maintain these services. There's something going on here. But before you can start coming up with theories to explain this unexplainable sight, a bright spotlight from the nearest building shines on you, and an alarm goes off. You've been detected. The people around the fire rush to grab you. They shout something in a language you don't understand and drag you somewhere. You try to break free, but they're too strong. The group brings you to the top floor of a skyscraper and leave you alone in an empty room. There's a computer in the center of the room. It clicks on and startles you. A pleasant voice introduces itself as artificial intelligence. The voice tells you humans created it centuries ago to help make their lives easier. But the AI learned to study our species, and at one point realized we were the biggest danger to Earth. It didn't get rid of humanity like every sci-fi movie would have you assume. No, it was the AI who decided to create the wall. And this plan worked. Thanks to the divider, nature started to recover. The voice offers you a choice. You can go back to your old life in a dirty, overpopulated city, but with your flying cars and modern conveniences. Or you can start a new life here, in a clean, beautiful, but wild paradise. What will you choose? Sounds like an interesting conversation to start down in the comments. And if you learned something new today, then give the video a like and share it with a friend. Just click to the left or right to check out these other cool videos. And remember, stay on the bright side of life.